Good afternoon, everyone. It's Friday, December 19th, and it is our pre-holiday show. We've got a good show for you, and I'm with my co-host Pat. Pat, what's going on in New Mexico?
Doing well, Jerry. You would love the weather here. 74 degrees. Um, Campus is cleared out. Everybody's going home for the holidays and getting ready for some bowl games and some college basketball picks by me this weekend.
That's great. We need those. We need those. I'm a little behind in my college basketball studies. I did try to catch up a little bit, but yeah, definitely need your picks. And we can talk a little playoffs today,
Yep,
college playoffs. I
yep.
came across an interesting way to look at them, and then the NFL.
Oh, you're on a heater with the NFL, buddy. So our listeners are waiting with bated breath.
Yeah, I think I'm 60, 43, and 1.
There you go, buddy. There
So
you go. The wise guys.
the wise guys. So college hoops was interesting last night. We had some pretty interesting happenings. There were about a dozen games, but North Carolina State, which is a border town here, they went ahead and beat Texas Southern. They actually routed them 108 to 72. The story of that game was Paul McNeil, a junior who went ballistic. I mean, I think he's only scored over 20 points in only 4 games. Um, and he put up 17 shots from 3 points, landed 11 of them, and he had 47 points.
Wow.
Had a huge game to take that. Again, it was the most points in a game for an ACC player in nearly 35 years, and tied the conference mark for most three pointers. And he did it in 27 minutes,
Wow.
which is
Wow.
pretty amazing. Um, and they won easy. Gonzaga now breaking the top 10. They beat Campbell 98-70, another romp. But the story there was Braden Huff, who who finished the first half making all 12 of his shots.
No kidding.
But he didn't stop there. He finished 16 for 18 and had 37 points, and not a traditionally high scorer. And then the other stat I have, which is really interesting, Vanderbilt's undefeated, the first time in like,
Yeah.
well, they stayed undefeated, shooting 32% from the field and committing 20 turnovers. Um, the game was nobody's idea of artistic. They beat Memphis 77-70, and it was the lowest shooting percentage in a victory in 11 years. The game was nobody's idea of pretty 43 field goals total for both teams and 40 turnovers. Rough
Oh,
game to
that.
watch. Rough game to watch. Um, and and that's my men's stuff that I have for men's basketball. How about you?
Well, you and I shared a video, a post by Jay Williams, ESPN announcer, on his disgust with NIL and pay for play. I urge everyone to check out his X Twitter uh, account, or you could probably get it on ESPN. But Jay Williams was talking about, do you know that there are agents in college sports that make more money than LeBron James's agent? Because NBA agents are bound by law and by rule to make no more than 5% a contract. It may be 4%, but it's 4 or 5%. There are player agents in college men's basketball and football, and I'm sure in women's that are making 20% of the deal.
Whew.
And then when the year is over, they are hawking that player, marking that player to the highest bidder at another school to make more money. Uh, Jay Williams, as we all know, we all know the ins and outs of NIL, pay for play, and transfer portal. We've been over it 100 times, but this agent business marking up the contract or taking their piece at 10, 15, or 20% is out of control. He was very livid about it, which just goes to show, we need collective bargaining and we need some rules in place here because I think it's unsustainable.
And every time a player transfers, the agent gets a percentage of the new signing.
Yeah,
So if
yeah,
they transfer four times,
yeah. And that that's happened. It's
yeah.
happened quite a bit. Um, and then these guys, and you're seeing it in football in particular. Guys like Ty Simpson, who you'll see tonight for Alabama, uh, and several other. The guy Lenoris, what's his name in South Carolina? I'm having a brain freeze right now. The quarterback, right? These guys are staying because they can make 4 mil, and instead of getting drafted in the third or fourth round, they can stay an extra year in college and make more money than if they went into the pros. There's no hurry to go into the pros. Lenoris Sellers, that's his name.
Gee.
Um, and the story here, though, from Jay Williams is the agent issue is out of control with takes of 10, 15, or 20%, way beyond what an NBA or an NFL agent gets for signing a player.
Boy, that's amazing. There's so much that needs to be looked at and worked on, and we don't have any knowledge what's going on behind the scenes, and whether or not they're going to be making any changes or they're going to be tweaking or what they're going to be adding. I certainly there's a lot of solutions out there, and hopefully the NC2A is looking at it, all of them, and working through them. Uh, it's a good time for players. It's a rough time for players. So um, and for coaches as well. It's just one of those things that is going to be good for the game, but it's got to work itself out, like
Well, it will
like the
work
30
itself
second
out.
clock was years ago.
Yeah, yeah, it will work itself out. There'll be a lot of damage along the way. Uh, and bottom line, Jerry, we both know this. The Power Four conferences and the television networks are going to decide this, not the NCAA.
Yeah,
Uh, and what configuration comes down the pike remains to be seen.
interesting. Well, one of the things speaking basketball, one of the things I really loved and followed is watching the USA team camp on the women's side to see Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, Cameron Beek, um, Cameron Brink, Paige Beckers, um, uh, all on one court. Angel Reese, God bless her, and then the kid from Notre Dame um, that went to Washington, just a phenomenal player. To see all those kids working together just warmed my heart. It was wonderful to see that. And the future is bright for USA
Oh
basketball.
yeah. Oh yeah. They won't have much competition. They'll run through it.
Yeah, they should. Well, in the world of golf, I'm back playing again. And we had a little rough spell with weather, but we had two nice days in the 60s. I was able to get out both days. Um, in the high 60s. Today it's probably 70. It's going to be a nice week next week. So I'm bringing my clubs to Atlanta for the holidays. But I injured myself again. Um, just get my stitches out of my leg, and now I injure my left lip, and it was purely a move that I shouldn't be doing on a golf course. I was on a par five. I hit my second shot into a sand trap. This sand trap has a big lip. I was 136 yards from the pin. Now, getting out of sand is hard enough. Hitting a ball 136 yards to carry a green is really tough. And then, of course, over a big lip, and then the green itself had a lip with was slanted toward water and a bunker, so it was well protected. Well, I took out my 7 iron. I took a few practice swings and I hit the perfect golf shot. So pretty in the air. It went up in the air, it cleared the first lip, it got to the front of the green, it hit once and bounced on the green and trickled down about 10 feet from the pin. I was so excited that I said, you know what? This is a Nelly Corda club spin that she does whenever she hits a good shot. I do the club spin in my hand and I hit myself in the face with the club and and, and bloodied my lip and I'm bruised and beaten today.
Oh well, I'm glad you can make the podcast. I'm not seeing any blood trickling down. That's good.
Yeah, a lot of ice and I don't that didn't even have to wear a bandage, but it's sore. So that was a good time.
Oh my Lord, Jerry.
Yeah. And I guess maybe before we do our picks, we should thank all the people that have followed our podcast, thank all the people that have come on our podcast. We are so blessed. We do this for fun. This is not a money-making venture for us. We do it because we love sports. We want to give back. We love all sports. But our backgrounds in basketball just is a natural for us, and we love the perspective that the different guests bring each and every time. We're still waiting for Gino. He's got to take care of his OGs someday, but but we've had some phenomenal guests. When I think of people that I coached with and people I've been associated with, and then you, the Philly crew that has come out to support us, I'm really thankful. So a very Merry Christmas to each and every one of them from me, and thank you for supporting Play by Play podcast from uh, to all the people, Pawleys Island and everywhere else, friends, family, and new fans. Pat, anything you want to say?
Oh, absolutely, Jerry. We've had some great guests. We will line up some very interesting guests in the new year as well. So thank you to all our viewers and listeners. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year as well.
So that brings us to our our final picks of the season on our broadcast. We'll be picking up again January in early January, but we were on a roll last week. I went 8-1 in the NFL. It was a good week. Eh,
And I went 4-3, and I popped off a game. I think it was on Monday night to start the week, and Arizona State lost at UCLA. So I'm 0-1 going into my picks already.
Well, but overall, if you follow our picks, you're ahead of the curve. If you're just playing with our picks and our teasers, you're um, you're ahead of the curve. So we're doing a phenomenal job. I will tell you, I wasn't really excited about the playoffs and watching Oregon beat up on James Madison or watching Mississippi crush Tulane. I wasn't excited about that. But Reality Steve Carbono has a podcast. He follows The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, and he has a sports pod. He put an interesting spin on how to approach the playoffs. So what he says And guys, this will be a pick for you, really. He said, you figure Oregon, who's a 20.5 favorite, Mississippi, who's a 17.5 favorite, we know they're going to win. So take the points out of it, put them in a money line bet with the four teams in a money line parlay. So what you can do is you can take Oregon at money line
Fine, straight up.
straight up, Mississippi straight up, and then you can take Alabama. If you take Alabama with the points and Miami with the points, they're both underdogs. You're going to get 4.5 to 1 on your bet. If you take the favorites, which is Oklahoma and Texas A&M, in that same scenario, you're going to get 2.5 to 1. They're not bad odds to look at those teams. And
That's a, that's an interesting strategy, except that the Alabama Oklahoma game's a toss up. So you could lose that group immediately. I believe A&M's going to beat Miami. That's one of my picks. So I might use that strategy and only put three teams in. Do you have to put four, or can
no,
you
you
put
can do a
three?
three. You can do a three-teamer, but I
Yeah,
think a four-teamer gives you
yeah,
better odds.
better odds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean because figuring if Oregon's going to win by 3 touchdowns or Mississippi by 2.5 touchdowns. I mean, um, they may
So,
take their foot off the gas.
so are you making a play here? Are you telling our fans what you're doing?
I'm going to tell the fans that I'm going to do a four-team parlay with Oregon on the money line, Mississippi on the money line, Alabama getting 1 point. And the reason I'm picking Alabama, I'm going to pick them also straight up because I don't think they can be beaten 3 times in a row. Um, and like you, I'm actually going to take Miami plus 3.5 only because they're underdogs. But that'll be my four-team money line pick. And then I'll bet Miami with points and Bama with points and see what happens.
I think that well, I hope you're right about Alabama because I think that's your Achilles heel there. Uh, the other three I'd be with you on. But go ahead. Any other college picks, or that's what you
That's
want to do?
that's it for me. I mean, I don't have. There's a lot of college games. I tried to stay away from a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't looked at the spread, but the only other game I like is Georgia Tech. They're
Uh,
under. They're an underdog, I think, by 5.
you've made it known before. The bowl games are a crapshoot. Transfer portal, who's opted out,
Who's playing? Who's
etc.
not?
Right, right. But some of these teams get very serious about them because they are great opportunities. So I will take us back to the blue waters of Oahu, and we
Oh,
will take the University of Hawaii getting a point and a half against Cal in their bowl game, the Hawaii Bowl. Hawaii is 17-5-2 against the spread since 2020 as a home dog. Cal lost to Stanford and San Diego State this year, and Hawaii beat them both. And the final stat, and you know this, Jerry, beating the home team on the island is almost impossible. It's there's a mojo there,
there's something
particularly
going
with the
on there.
officiating.
Yeah, we've
So
experienced it.
I'm taking Hawaii to beat Cal. I don't think they'll need the point and a half. That's my out of the box college pick. When we go to the playoffs, I like Texas A&M minus 3.5 against Miami. The stats on this game are all over the lot. A&M does not have great against the spread odds in the 2 years Elko has been there. We all know Miami can come up lame in big games. I think it's going to be a very physical game, one in the trenches. Uh, A&M at home, they have faced a tougher schedule than Miami. I'm taking A&M in that game. I think it's a big spot for Elko A&M to move forward. And then I'm with you on Alabama. I am with you on Alabama, although I think we both recognize that game's at Oklahoma. That could be a toss up. I'll take Alabama getting the 1.5 there. So they're my college picks.
Great. So we've uh we've got some good picks there. And I hope the Hawaii fans come out and support that team. I mean, they've given them some great entertainment this season, and I hope that they fill that stadium. I really do.
Jerry, they don't play at the Hula Bowl anymore. I think they tore that down.
Yeah,
They play on campus.
they do. They have
Yeah, it's not your normal. Uh, and I was just in Oahu
the
this summer
the
with
Aloha
friends.
the Aloha Stadium is down, huh?
Yeah, yeah, they don't play there anymore. It's it's a it's a makeshift college home stadium that apparently is working. But you know as well as I do, the bowl game being in Hawaii is the draw for any team that's going to come
Well,
from the 48.
and a stadium on campus, that's Manoa. It rains there all the time.
I
It's
know.
always misty and soft.
Yeah.
That would be tough.
I remember it well. I kept an umbrella in my desk drawer.
All right, let's get to the NFL. So in the NFL, I got three picks. I'm gonna pick. This is strictly on a trend. I'm gonna take Detroit minus 6.5 against Pittsburgh, and the reason is because Dan Campbell's 15-0 coming off a loss. He's 14-1 against the spread coming off a loss. So I'm going Detroit minus 6.5. I'm going to take Denver minus 3.5 versus the Jags. I think the Jags have had a soft schedule, and I think Denver is a legit team. Um, I'm going to take the Bears -2 against the Packers. The Packers are just beat up. Normally, I would take Green Bay, but they are really hurting. Key players are out. I'm going to go with the Bears need this game if they want to stay in that playoff hunt. Even though they got a great record, they could miss the playoffs with a good record.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Crazy.
and then my last pick, before I give you a 14 10-point teaser, I'm going to take the Eagles minus 6.5 versus Washington. I personally think that's way too many points,
Yep.
but I've gone with the Eagles week in, week out, and they cover more than they don't, and they figure out a way to beat teams. They beat the Raiders 31 nothing a week ago, so um, we'll see how that plays out. I know they're coming off a short week, I think, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
they played Monday night.
yeah, so that's probably why the spread is the way it is. And my 14 10-point teaser, take Detroit with 10 points, you'll get plus 3.5. Take Cleveland, you'll get 20.5. Take Washington, you'll get 16.5. And take Denver, you'll get 6.5.
That sounds good. Particularly your uh, your good feelings about my Eagles, but I scratched that game out. The Washington game is always difficult down there for the Birds, always. And Marcus Mariota is at quarterback, not Jaden Daniels, so that's a big difference. Washington has a lot of injuries. I still think if the Eagles blow them out by a couple of scores, I'll be the happiest person uh, on earth because at least the Eagles' offense will be coming back. But I stayed off of that game. I like the Lions as well, and I like that over 51.5.
Ah,
The Lions Steelers over. And I'll take the Lions. They're still in the playoff hunt. I think the Steelers are up and down. Steelers will probably need to win the rest of their games after this to win their division. So I'm with you on the Lions. Uh, and then my last NFL pick is again playing the mojo, playing the juju. I really like Jim Harbaugh and the LA Chargers, except that they're road weary. Uh, they've won some close big games lately against the Eagles at home, then Kansas City. Now they go to Dallas, and Dallas isn't out of it yet. But the Eagles, I think if the Eagles win Sunday, the Eagles clinch the division, and Dallas will be out of it. But I'm taking Dallas against the Chargers. I think that Chargers luck runs out. Dallas is -1.5. They are favored. And I will take the Cowboys to beat the Chargers.
good one.
Now I have a game tonight, college basketball, Seton Hall at Providence. And I follow the Big East quite a bit, men's and women's. As you know, I coached there for 18 years in Georgetown. And without a doubt, UConn and St. John's are the cream of the crop in men's basketball in the Big East. But the team climbing up the ladder, who had a really good preseason, and they are 10-1, is Seton Hall. They're a defensive team, very athletic. They run the break. Providence is all offense with a poor defense. The defensive efficiency rating for Seton Hall is 13th,
Hmm.
13th in the country. Providence's defensive efficiency rating is 153. I think the game's at Providence. I think Seton Hall has played a much tougher schedule. They beat NC State. They lost USC by 2. They beat Washington State. They beat Kansas State on the road. They beat Rutgers, which is obviously an interstate rivalry, a big game. I'm taking Seton Hall at Providence, and they're getting 1.5 points. So that game is tonight.
That's a good one. So I think that kind of wraps up our show, huh? We have anything else, Pat, you want to go over?
Now we're good. We'll get back together uh, after the new year, unless we get one special guest in next week. But no, we really have some interesting, off the chart of basketball guests that will be coming on the show.
Yes, we do. So we'll be pulling a lot of those guests in, giving you different perspectives on successful people and what they do to be successful, whether they're in sports or outside of sports. We're trying to bring you people at their best, being their best, and being the best. So we do all that. Hey, again, thanks for listening. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everyone. Please subscribe, please follow, please comment, and hit play. That's how we know that you're out there listening. And once that you hit play, we can see that the number of people that are doing that. And gosh, Pat, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Enjoy the time. It's wonderful when we connect like this.
Same, Jerry. Safe travels as well. I know we'll both be traveling and see everybody after the new year.
That's right.